All right, let's dive in. Today we're on a quest for America's best sandwich.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
We're going to break down a popular YouTube video where the host went on this cross-country, sandwich tour.
Sounds right up my alley.
It is. But we're not just talking rankings, right? We're going to explore the history, the regional differences.
The culture of the sandwich.
Exactly. So get ready. You might just find your next sandwich obsession.
I'm ready. Where are we starting?
Let's head south. Louisiana, the home of the po' boy.
Classic.
Oh, yeah. It's all about simplicity and flavor, French bread piled high with fried seafood or sometimes roast beef.
Okay, so what kind of po' boy are we talking about in this video?
They focused on the fully dressed shrimp po' boy.
Oh, yeah, with all the fixings.
Yeah. Lettuce, tomato, pickles, and that creamy, tangy sauce.
What's not to love?
Now, the first stop was Guy's Po' Boys, a local favorite, and it, set the bar high.
High bar. What was so special about it?
Perfectly seasoned shrimp. And when we talk seasoning, we're not just talking, salt and pepper.
Oh, right. That's got to be that New Orleans blend.
Paprika, cayenne, garlic powder, onion powder, all that good stuff.
It's an art form.
It really is. And guys, they scored an 8.5.
Not bad at all.
But then they went to Dom Elise's, over 100 years old, and you'd think?
You'd think that'd be the winner.
Right. But it got a 6.5.
Why?
Smaller shrimp and, not as well seasoned.
You know what this tells me? Sometimes the newer spots are really pushing the boundaries.
That's so true. It's like a sandwich evolution, right?
Always pushing, always changing.
Exactly. But wait, there's one more po' boy stop, Parkway Bakery.
Okay, tell me more.
It's a bit more touristy, but still over 100 years old, and they've had some famous customers like Beyonce and Obama.
Wow, big names.
Right. They almost rivaled Guys with the size of the shrimp and all the toppings.
Well, there's got to be a
The
bump.
seasoning wasn't quite there, so they got a 7.5.
It seems that seasoning at Guy's was something special.
It really was. So round one goes to Guys for their flavorful, fully dressed shrimp po' boy.
Okay, so where are we headed next on our sandwich adventure?
Let's trade the bayou for beaches. We're going to Florida, home of the Cuban sandwich.
Oh, the Cubano. Love it.
A true testament to Florida's, cultural mix, right? You've got Spanish, Cuban, and American influences all in one sandwich.
And you can't forget about that bread. It's essential.
Absolutely. Cuban bread made with lard gives it that unique flavor and texture.
And it's baked in those long loaves, perfect for pressing and grilling.
Speaking of grilling, that's what gives it that crispy crust and melty inside.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Me too. So the video's first Florida stop was Sandwich to Miami.
Sandwich to Miami. Okay.
And it's actually run out of a former shipping container.
You're kidding. Sometimes the best food comes from the most unexpected places.
That's so true. And this place, it boasts a Michelin bib gourmand.
So you know it's good quality and probably not going to break the bank.
Right. The host was seriously impressed with the ham and roast pork preparation.
So it was all about the care they put into it.
Exactly. And it earned an 8 for its balanced flavors.
Solid score.
But then we have the Columbia restaurant in Tampa. They claim to have the oldest recorded Cubano.
Ooh, the history. So they must have won, right?
Well, not quite.
This is where it gets interesting.
They actually added salami to their Cubano, which is a Tampa thing, but it only got a 6.8.
What? Okay, so it wasn't the ingredients.
It seems the execution wasn't there.
What do you mean?
Even with an hour wait, the sandwich was cold and unpressed.
Oh, no. That's a cardinal sin for a Cubano.
I know, right? It makes you wonder if maybe those long-standing places get a little complacent.
Maybe so, but let's not discount tradition just yet. What was the last stop?
La Segunda Central Bakery, known for its traditional Cuban bread.
Okay, now we're talking. Bread can make or break a sandwich.
You said it. And their Cubano was a surprise hit. Fresh, flaky bread, well-seasoned fillings. They also got an 8.
A tie. So it seems the newer spot, A&D, the traditional bakery, both impressed.
It's like the best of both worlds.
I like it. All right, so we've had po' boys, we've had Cubanos.
Where to next?
Let's head to the Windy City, Chicago for the Italian beef.
Oh, yeah, now we're talking serious sandwiches.
Get ready for a flavor explosion.
No, this is where things get interesting. The Italian beef, a Chicago staple.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine thinly sliced roast beef piled high on this crusty Italian roll.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. It's been dipped, generously dipped, in the savory juice.
Oh, wow. That sounds messy and delicious.
Oh, it is a hands-on experience for sure.
And then on top of all that...
Oh, and to top it all off, you have Giardiniera.
Giardiniera.
This spicy mix of pickled vegetables, peppers, cauliflower gives it a tang.
So we're talking about a flavor explosion.
Oh, absolutely. And there's actually a whole etiquette to eating it, right?
Oh, there is.
Some people, they like to dunk the whole sandwich in the just, get it totally soaked.
Wow.
Others are more strategic, drip control. Drip control, I like that. Okay, so where does this video take us on this Italian beef journey?
First up, Al's Beef, the place that claims to have invented this icon.
The OG Italian beef?
Exactly. The original location, it has that classic Chicago feel.
So did it live up to the hype?
It got a 7.8, not bad. Good, juicy beef, tender. It seemed like it was missing something, compared to some of the other sandwiches we've talked about.
A little one-dimensional, maybe.
You got it. So on to the next contender, Portillo's.
Ah, Portillo's. I've heard of them. They're famous, right?
Chicago institution, known for their hot dogs, but their Italian beef was actually the most voted for in this video.
High expectations, then.
You can say that.
The
flavor, fantastic. Beef was richer than Al's, more complex.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Yeah, this time it was the peppers, a little overcooked.
Okay.
And the bread, maybe a tad too soggy from all that dipping.
So close, yet so far.
It got an 8. Good, but it could have been great.
It's all about those little details, huh?
Makes all the difference. And speaking of details, the final stop, Mr. Beef.
Mr. Beef.
Now this one, it holds a special place in the heart of the video's host.
How come?
Personal connection with the owner.
Oh, that's nice. So did that connection translate into a good sandwich?
9.2.
Wow.
He raved about the seasoning. Perfect. Beef was melt in your mouth. Fresh giardiniera.
So Mr. Beef takes the Italian beef crown.
No doubt about it. And a strong contender for best overall.
We're not done yet, though, right?
2 more iconic sandwiches to go.
I'm ready. Hit me with the next one.
Okay, get ready for this. We're going to Omaha, Nebraska for a Reuben.
Hold on. I thought Reubens were a New York thing.
It's a common misconception.
Oh, right.
The Reuben actually has roots in Omaha, and we're going to the place that claims to have the original recipe, Crescent Moon.
Okay, this is getting interesting. Busting sandwich myths left and right.
That's what we do here.
So tell me about this Crescent Moon claim. How did the Reuben even start in Omaha?
So the story goes, back in the 1920s, group of poker players at the Blackstone Hotel, late night. They wanted a snack.
Okay.
Hotel employee Ruben Kulikowski whips up this sandwich, corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, Russian dressing, all on rye bread.
The classic combo.
And it was an instant hit.
And the Blackstone Hotel, is that where Crescent Moon comes in?
Yes. Crescent Moon, it's named after this moon-shaped window the hotel was famous for. They've been serving their version of the Reuben ever since.
Pretty cool. So how did the Reuben fare in the video?
8, the host. He loved the crunchy toast. Tender corned beef, said the flavors were really well balanced.
Solid score. But we can't talk Reubens without mentioning New York, right?
Oh, stop. The video also stopped at Langer's Deli in Los Angeles, famous for their double-baked rye bread.
Interesting twist.
And the iconic Katz's Delicatessen in New York City.
Oh, Katz's. That's the big one.
So Langer's, the double-baked rye, that was interesting, but it was the Russian dressing that really made the difference.
How so?
Without the dressing, the sandwich was like a 5, pretty average.
Okay.
But with it, bumped it up to a 7.
Wow, one ingredient can completely change the game.
It shows you every element matters. But I know you're curious about Katz's, the legend.
Oh, absolutely. Did it live up to the hype?
Here's where things get really interesting. Katz's, they got a 6.
What?
You'd think with all that history, all that fame, they'd be a shoo-in, but nope.
Why such a low score?
Massive portion of meat, but the seasoning was lacking. It was a letdown.
Another upset. So Crescent Moon, the underdog, takes the Reuben round.
It seems those under-the-radar places, they're really giving the big guys a run for their money.
Agreed. This is turning out to be quite the sandwich showdown.
It is. But our journey isn't over yet. We've got one more stop, and it's a big one.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. What's next?
We're heading to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, for the Philly cheesesteak.
Oh, yeah. Bring on the cheesesteak.
All right, we're in Philly, the land of the cheesesteak.
The Philly cheesesteak, more than just a sandwich, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's an icon. It represents Philly, the city spirit.
I can just imagine those cheesesteak shops on every corner.
Oh, yeah. Practically every corner. And they each have their diehard fans.
I bet there are some serious debates about what makes a real cheesesteak.
Oh, huge debates.
Yeah.
Cheese whiz versus provolone, onions, no onions.
It's serious business.
It is. But to keep things consistent in the video, the host, Joshua Weissman, he stuck with the classic.
Okay, the classic.
Provolone cheese, beef, onions, a little bit of mayo, all in a good roll. And his first stop was John's Roast Pork.
John's Roast Pork, I've heard of that place.
It's got the stamp of approval from, like, Philly's top food critic.
No pressure then. So how did they do?
John's Roast Pork, they did not disappoint. Weissman loved the seeded roll, said the filling was cheesy and flavorful.
Sound promising?
Only downside, the meat was a tad dry.
Just a tad.
Yeah, but overall they got an 8.5.
Okay, so the bar is high. What's next?
Next up, we're talking legends here. Pat's King of Steaks.
Pat's. I mean, that's the name everyone knows.
They've been around since the 1930s, you know?
Wow, that's some serious history.
But even legends can falter.
Oh. What happened at Pat's?
Well, for starters, no seeded roll, which is a big no-no for some.
Okay, that's a strike one.
Meat was under-seasoned.
Uh-oh.
And the provolone was, like, way too strong. It kind of overwhelmed everything.
So it's not a winner.
Not this time. They got a 6.
Wow, another upset. It seems those smaller places are really holding their own.
You know what it shows? Culinary excellence isn't about fame. It's about passion, about dedication to the craft.
I love that. Okay, so we've had some surprises. Who was the final cheesesteak contender?
Last stop, Angelo's Pizzeria came highly recommended.
Angelo's Pizzeria. All right, I'm ready for this. Tell me everything.
This is where it gets good. Angelo's, they knocked it out of the park.
Really?
Weissman was blown away. The bread phenomenal, the meat perfectly seasoned, and that provolone and mayo just melted together.
It's like a cheesesteak dream.
It was a cheesesteak masterpiece. They got a 9.5, the highest score of the whole video.
Wow. So we have our winner, Angelo's Pizzeria in Philadelphia, takes the crown for best sandwich in America.
At least according to this epic sandwich journey. But you know what it really shows? It's not about finding the one best sandwich right.
What is it about then?
It's about the experience, about exploring different flavors, celebrating regional specialties.
It's about the joy of food.
Exactly. And we hope this deep dive has inspired you to, try new things, maybe explore the sandwich scene in your own city.
Maybe even start your own sandwich quest.
Who knows? You might just discover your own personal best sandwich.
That's what it's all about. So there you have it, folks. Another delicious deep dive.
Until next time, happy eating.